Yo, this is a lot of different clips. It's gonna take the whole day to get through all this freaking crap. Oh, hey, down here. Yeah, we're gonna make another video, alright? So, stay tuned. And it is a grind. That is faux show. Drum roll. Bang. Before anything, obviously, let's be honest. Is there anything on earth to even being remotely close as good as hot coffee? Hell no. So anyway, today I wanted to talk about the division and separation between public land hunters and private land hunters. It's really unfortunate, and honestly, in my opinion, it's pathetic, it's lame, it's corny, all those types of things that we say. Just not good. And we got to be better as bow hunters, myself included. I'm not bashing anybody out there. We're all guilty of some bad doing in the hunting community. Where it's really frustrating is when you go on social media. I'm not saying social media is bad. There's some good on there too. But when you go on there on one of the hunting forums, hunting pages, whatever they're calling them these days, and you got some like little kid on there or a woman or random dude holding up this buck, smiling ear to ear like I do in the bakery when I smell them donuts. And they are so ecstatic, just happy to share on their Facebook. And then they share it on one of the bow hunting pages. And you got these guys that come in the comment section with their gangster bullet fingers, ready to hit the keyboard and say, oh, was that on public or private? It's like they're looking for some stamp of approval to crap on somebody because that person that posted that deer, it was on private land and they hunt pressured public land or public land in general, and they feel like they're so much better. I just don't understand it. You have no right to do that. And I'm going to get this out there right now. I'm not trying to flex or be a tough guy. You shouldn't do that to anybody, but when it comes to little children, you do that, you deserve to get smacked in the mouth. As a father, that's just how I feel. It's not cool. I mean, like I said, you shouldn't be degrading anybody on their harvest. You don't know what they went through to get there. You don't know their situation. That could be their family's land. They could have busted their ass to get that permission piece, and you have no right to rain on their parade. So for hunters to go on there and bash somebody for hunting strictly private land or public land is just absurd, man. It is so whack to see. I really hate it. It's unfortunate that we're creating a separation in the hunting community. It's already bad as it is. You got people that don't want to help anybody. And some are all for themselves. I get it. We all come from different walks of life. And some of us, we got to bust our ass to get what we're at or get that permission piece or get land. You get what I'm saying? My issue is just the separation, in general. It's become like we're divided by that. And just like the crossbow thing, I see guys going on these pages, and this happens in the pro shop too. I saw some like random lady walking out in tears. She was actually upset because people were at her throat about her setup and they were bickering, and that's an easy way to detour like the youth from getting into this sport or anybody in general. Because if you're someone that's getting into this with no experience and you're new, and then you see people talking like that, or you hear it at the shop, or you see it on social media platforms, that's discouraging. That's going to make you be like, you know what? This is lame. I ain't doing this. This is not cool at all. And for anybody to add to the fire and go out there in the public or on the internet and spew hatred and degrade people because they hunt private or public is just nonsense. Don't do that. We got to be better. I don't mean to sound repetitive. I keep saying it because it's so annoying to see. And it's become over time. It's like this trend. You got these guys that are trying to flex and be cool and make some kind of point. You're not better than anybody else. We're all human beings, man. Don't get it twisted. Like myself, I hunt a small, tiny permission piece. And that is my only private piece, and that has two other hunters on it that hunt the back end. And some of my good friends have been hunting 10, 20, 30, even 40 years. So when they talk, I listen. I become a sponge. And they know a thing or two. They've been around and they hunt both or strictly one. So when I hear these guys say, oh, pressured public land is way tougher than any piece of private land. Private land guys get to see deer all the time. You're lucky if you see a doe on public land. That is definitely not the truth, not at all. And my good friends who have more experience than me, I'm not going to say in you, they may or may not, but a lot of these people on the internet that are spewing all this nonsense don't understand that that is not always the case when it comes to hunting. You could hunt some freaking 100-acre farm and then go to public land and see more deer on public or vice versa. And that doesn't mean that one is better than the other. Now I get it, private land most of the time is unpressured, but there is tons of public land out there. We have options. That's the beautiful thing about this awesome country that we live in. It's the greatest country on the planet. And be thankful that we actually can go and do that and enjoy bow hunting and be able to go out of state and hunt public land, which I'm going to talk about. So here in, Pennsylvania, we got tons of public land, but we also have the most registered hunters. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm sure most of you are aware of that. It doesn't mean that every piece of public land in Pennsylvania is pressured. That's definitely not the case. Like, for instance, I found a piece about 35 minutes from here. So yeah, I went there in early archery season and then towards the middle and then at the end. And I e-scouted this place on my phone on onX. That's the wonderful thing about technology. But I'm a visual guy. I need boots on the ground. I need to see everything. And I walked my way in, scouted my way in, and found some beautiful sign, some beautiful buck rubs, all kinds of tracks, deer scat, all that stuff. And then I found a beautiful creek, and then I found some nice creek crossings. And then I set up at a spot and had a great encounter with a buck. And I walked all the way back in there. I pushed myself because I wanted to be away from everybody. And when I went there, I seen maybe one truck 5-10 minutes down the road. So it's not always the case that every piece of public is pressured. I know our sport's growing and there is a lot of pressured public land, but you can still be successful on pressured public. And I see a lot of people doing that. And I'm not just singling out you public land people because I hunt public too, mostly public, probably 95% of the time, to be honest with you. So for anybody out there that hunts public, and you kill decent or big deer consistently on pressured public or public in general, hats off. You're freaking awesome. That is a tough task. I don't care what anybody says. I found out real quick. It is not easy. So much respect. Again, I'm not bashing you guys, but let's not create division. Let's lift one another up. And regardless if somebody shoots a big buck or a big doe on private or public, congratulate them and simply move on. Now back to what I was saying earlier that I forgot. I apologize. That's just how my mind works. As far as public land goes, the awesome thing about it, you can go out of state if it's during hunting season, archery in that area, anywhere, and then go buy a license. I know some places you got to have points and there's drawings. I get that. But for the most part, you can go to like Ohio and just get a license, e-scout a nice piece of public and then go there on your vacation days and then you'll be able to hunt any piece of public land. And then with private, that's not always the case unless you have out-of-state permission. And believe me when I tell you, I have knocked on a lot of doors. I have heard all kinds of stuff. People ran me off that were against hunting. Most of the time I heard that it was leased out. I get it. They're trying to make money. Makes sense, especially nowadays. Or their family hunts it, or a simple no. It is a grind. So that is the wonderful gain, per se, that you have, or advantage, on public land. You have options. You can bounce around and more so locate the deer. If you have a prime piece of private land and you know they're there, that's great. That's even better. But they're not always going to be predictable, at least from my experience. I've only been doing this 6 years. I'm not trying to say I know it all. I'm just telling you how I feel about this whole division between public and private land hunters. It's just unfortunate, but this is the world we live in. I get it, I still don't support it. I don't agree with it. But I do draw the line when you want to bash people, especially children, as I stated earlier. That is not a good look. We got to be better than that. And I can't stress it enough to encourage one another. And remember, if you hunt one or both, and I hunt both, I love to bounce back and forth. The more options you have, the better. But I'm finding out with public, you can't just have an A and B plan. You got to have an A, B, C, all the way to Z. And you public land hunters that grind it out know exactly what I mean. So that is going to wrap up the video for today. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it so much. And as always, go out there, treat others how you want to be treated. And if you hunt public land and you come across somebody's trail camera or tree stand, go around it. That's what I do. I leave people's stuff alone. If you want to go in front of their camera and do goofy pictures or try to make some fake Sasquatch or something, all the power to you. My buddies have done it. We laughed. But be respectful of other people's stuff and just continue to grind it out. And remember, teach someone something, pass on the knowledge, teach them how to shoot a bow. But most importantly, go out there, hunt ethically and responsibly. Make a shot that you're confident in. Don't rush it. Remember, 1 minute or 30 seconds, however long, can make a world of difference when that deer comes in. So thank you guys again. I appreciate your time, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace. I thought there was a big buck right there. What happened, man? Oh, it's dark already. Oh man, I slept through the whole season? Oh no, where the hell did the season go? Did I sleep the whole time? Whew, I don't even know if I saw a damn deer.